Early medieval Europe has, over and over, been misunderstood. With these words, Chris Wickham begins his book The Inheritance of Rome, a history from 400 to 1000. The professor of medieval history at University of Oxford is here offering his views on how Europe itself changed with the breakup of the Roman Empire and the emergence of kings and kingdoms in Western Europe and empires in the East. Professor Wickham sees two major problems with the way historians have portrayed the early Middle Ages. The first is that many books have claimed this period saw the emergence of national identities, and an overall European one too. That if you search hard enough, you could find the beginnings of France, Spain, or Belgium. Wickham calls this bad history, which is the result of people seeing signs of evidence where none really exist. The other problem he notes is the one where historians have traditionally seen the early Middle Ages as a kind of storyline of failure, the result of the collapse of the Western Roman Empire, where Europe needed hundreds of years to recover. Wickham writes that he finds this to be ridiculous, and notes that every period in history has its own identity and legitimacy, which must be seen without hindsight. Wickham finds these two historical notions are now fading, as more medievalists start working on the early Middle Ages and cover a wider range of its history. So he set out to write a history of this time, trying to make sure that he is not comparing periods or places. His book is divided into four parts: the Roman Empire and its breakup, 400 to 550, the post-Roman West, 550 to 750, the empires of the East, 550 to 1000, and the Carolingian and post-Carolingian West, 750 to 1000. Wickham covers various topics, including the changing political fortunes and the economic development that took place during this period. For a book that is supposed to deal with the history of Europe, Wickham pays much attention to the Middle East. This is because of the rise of Islam, the influence of Roman ideals on its society and government, and how Muslims played an important role throughout the Mediterranean. Wickham said he wrote this book to be comprehensible to people who know nothing about the period, but this work is so rich in detail and analysis that even specialists in the field will want to have a copy. For many, this would be a great starting point for understanding the early Middle Ages, where they will find a fascinating story of many different places and peoples.